Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2 in the place to be. It's your man RTP here in the building. I gotta figure out how to not have to deal with that. All right. Anyways, we here, we back, we live. Another live stream. Um, Nothing important. I was watching this by myself, and I thought, you know what, I might as well just live stream it. So I figured I'd come in here and live stream. Let me make sure this ain't too loud. There we go. That's good. That's good. All right. So I'm watching these. Let's see. Watching these storylines in 1999. Now, I watched 1998. I actually watched a few of them before they got to 1998. Now, if you know anything about me, if you're a super, super, super Real Talk Perez OG subscriber, you know my story. 1998 was actually the year that I started watching the Bucs. I got into the Bucs through the video game Game Day '98, which had a rookie Warwick Dunn that I found interesting because I was looking for a quick running back, and I started playing with them. I liked playing with Warwick Dunn, but my defense was just crazy. And then I looked at the defensive stats, and I saw all these 90s and 89s and 92s and 90s. I was like, dang, this defense is crazy. And I just started playing with them more and more and more. And I started pretty much building pride, over them. Just because of the video game, not because of real life, just because of the video game, just playing with them. And I was like, man, these guys are pretty tough. And I used to play my brother in Madden and all the football games that were out there back in the days. And we used to have wars. Now, little did I know, because my brother was an Eagles fan, little did I know that was actually one of the Eagles. I mean, one of the big rivals between the Eagles and the Bucs. But yeah, we used to have wars and talk trash. And again, this was before I was like officially like a Bucs fan. I was just really into playing with them on the game. And I just played with them more and more. And then one day I was just like, bro, I got so much pride for them. Like I love John Lynch and Brooks and Sapp. And I just was like, man, I guess that's just my team, because I really didn't have a team. So I was like, I guess that's my team. And then I started watching them in real life. And I was like, yeah, this team is dope. And then I don't know, I just kind of fell in love with them. Anyways, that's my quick little story. Shout out to Carolina Panthers guy in the building. Good to see you doing some non-gaming content. Yeah. So I decided to just watch this now. I just finished watching the 1998 one, and now we're watching the 1999 one, and I actually had a thought in my mind that I will not be talking about. I'm going to keep that to myself. And if you ever hear me say, this was the thought I had, I just want this to go on record right now. If you ever hear me say, this is the thought I had, the proof will be in this video right here. It's just something that I wanted to put out there, but I don't want to put in the air. But anyways, we're gonna watch this, and we'll see what it's about, and just other things I wanted to talk about.
Now, so just tell you something. You play with some pride and some confidence today, man. We're gonna go to the Super Bowl.
So
we got
let's
the opportunity of a lifetime right in front of us. Like Coach Dungy, doesn't take anything out of the ordinary. It takes us playing our game. All right. These guys, 15 rounds. 15 rounds.
So this is the beginning, 1999. 1998, Warwick Dunn was there. They started seeing they had a run game with Warwick Dunn and All Star. 1999 was kind of the not the year. I think 1998, 1997 was kind of the year that like we have a good defense. 1999 was the year where it was like we have a Super Bowl. This is a historic Super Bowl caliber type of defense that we could have on our hands. Started getting going.
In a contest that would go to the last team standing.
But there's something that I noticed.
Hey, fellas, 15 minutes, the Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
So they're kind of foreshadowing here. Because they're talking about the NFC Championship, but this is of 1999. So they're
Tampa Bay needed one more to advance to the Super Bowl. With time running out, the Bucs couldn't catch a break, as an obvious catch was ruled null and void.
Referee Bill Carollo is over checking out the replay, and that's a catch. They rule that incomplete. Tony Dungy is on the field. The referee is over talking to Tony Dungy, who cannot believe the call.
That would be ruled a catch in today's game, of course. It wasn't ruled a catch back then.
Drops back, scans the secondary, and now heaves the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Good luck to you, man. Good luck, dude. Good luck to you.
Tony Dungy's team seems to take a step closer to their ultimate goal every season under his leadership, and the 1999 season was no exception. In the year 2000, they hope their final destination will be a trip home, as the Super Bowl is played in Tampa Bay.
Now, this is funny because,
The
again,
1999
man, like, we have two Super Bowls, as we all know, right? We have, I got to bring them out. I don't get to bring them out much. NFC South talk don't like to talk about Super Bowls, but we got two Super Bowls, right? Let's bring them out. Hold on. We're not done yet. Like I said, NFC South don't like to talk about Super Bowls, so I don't get a chance to bring them out a lot. But that second Super Bowl was definitely different from the first Super Bowl. That first Super Bowl, no matter what you say, right? And again, I've known this from the beginning. I'm a Lakers fan. I got plenty of championships. There is always a different feeling from a homegrown championship and a championship that just came out of nowhere, right? One of those came out of nowhere for two reasons. Either it was just a miracle season, right? Something that your team just no one thought about the team. It just somehow you got there and you won it all. Seeing we got a Panther fan in the building. The year that the Panthers went to the Super Bowl with Cam Newton is a year that I would talk about. Now they obviously didn't finish and make it a historical year for themselves, but that was a year where no one was expecting Carolina to be anything really. I believe Ted Ginn, their best receiver at the time, got hurt. And no one was expecting them to make a run like that. So they did. That was a magical season, something that should have not really happened, but it happened, and doesn't necessarily mean that you got a good team now. It was just a magical season. And I told them, I remember telling Panther fans that. I remember telling Falcon fans that. Like you just had a magical season, bro. Like this is not your team. Your core this is not the regular for you guys. You're not gonna be back and be a problem every year after that. It's just you just had a magical season. It's just one of those things that everything fell right and things happen when it needed to happen, and you had some luck on your side, and it happens. It happens. There's that, and then there is a season where you just go all out like the Rams did, go all out like the Bucs did with Brady, and it just everything worked, and it just was on the right time. So there's a difference between those Super Bowls, right? We have this team was just built, and we were seeing the momentum as it was getting built, and we were seeing the progress as it was getting built.
Season started on an
And
off note as a multitude of miscues
I
helped the
don't
Giants to
know.
a Week 1 victory.
Loses the football, picked up by
Hold
Kristen
on.
Peter. Running.
Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. That's not true. We were a playoff team in 2017. We would have been in 2018 if TJ Watt didn't intentionally drive his helmet into Cam's shoulders. So, no, again, just because you were a playoff team doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean there's plenty of people that go into put CPG. All I have to say is this. I think still you've never had a a back-to-back winning season. That's all that needs to be said. That's all. Your whole any argument that you're gonna come up with, you've never had a back-to-back winning season. That is all that needs to be said. So obviously you never built a core, you never built anything over there with Cam. Plain and simple. Period. So any argument you have, it doesn't fall into the category that I'm talking about. Building something, having a core, knowing who you are day in and day out, season after season. You know who you are because that's you as a team. There's plenty of teams in the NFL that have a good season, that bring in free agents, and you hit on free agency and you had a good year, and then maybe you didn't have a good year the other year, but you still made the playoffs or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you built something and you're under the hump, then you're on top of the hump, and then you're over the hump. That's a culture that's being built. That's something that it's building up. You guys never did that. But let's continue.
20, 10, 5.
And we don't believe you.
Against
We're not
the
worried.
Eagles, the Buccaneers played like the team
I like-
everyone expected them.
I like again, it's CPG. We've been here, both me and you, we've been here a long time, and we've been on these YouTube streets a long time. We've done this for a long time. It's to the point where I feel weird talking now. Like when I talk to the rest of the NFC South, it feels so weird talking. Like I remember I grew up in TTC, right? In this trash talking, whether you call it a trash talking circle or whatever, in this YouTube streets of trash talking the division, right? I grew up in this cyber world of YouTube, trash talking, repping your NFL team, being the underdog. I grew up in this YouTube streets, being the guy that no one believed, being the guy that was laughed at, being the guy that wasn't taken serious, being the guy that would say he's a Bucs fan. They're Bucs. Like, don't listen to them. They're nobody. We don't have to worry about them. And it went from that to people disregarding who we are. Even though we have Tom Brady, it's still the Bucs. And people understanding, dang, they might actually be good this year, and the rest of the NFC scattering. Then we win the Super Bowl, and then no one's there to talk down to RTP. No one's there to say congratulations. No one's there to say, oh, you were right, because I called Super Bowl that year. Nobody there to hate after that. And then Tom Brady leaves, and it's like the cockroaches came back out. Like everybody came back out because Brady left. And everybody went back to, you're still the old Bucs. Tom Brady's gone. This and that. Blah, blah, blah. Who you got? Oh, you got Baker. Laugh, laugh, laugh. You guys are back to being the Bucs. Brady's not there no more. And the cockroaches came back out. And then Baker wins a division. And then it's slowly backing away. And then, oh, well, it was just, lucky year, blah, 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 blah. You guys won it because of us. Not you guys didn't win it. We lost it. And then Baker wins it again. And now no one has nothing to say to us. No one believes that it was a fluke. No one. Now it's okay. The Bucs are the champs until we can beat them. They're the NFC champ until we can beat them. The Bucs are the kings until we stop them. Now no one has nothing to say because they know, like I said years ago, the original NFC champs. We did everything in this division first. Won the division first. First one in the division to win the Super Bowl. We are the official and the original NFC kings of the South. Period. And everybody was put into their place. When we were down and everybody else, the Carolina Panthers, the Saints, the Falcons, they were all fighting back and forth for the division title. Daddy was away. He was away. He was hurt. He was getting his stuff together. But then Daddy, the Bucs came back and said, "Hey, Daddy's home." And when Daddy came home, everybody else fell back into their place. There was no fighting back and forth with, "Oh, we're still the king, the South, the kings of the South. Oh no, the Bucs are still the king. No, we're still the king." No, no, no. Daddy came home and put everybody back into their place, and that's it. And everybody stood there in their place. Everybody got in line, and no one has been able to say anything. And that's just what it is. Let's continue, because again, this is
Their offense can't do jack against our defense. They can't do jack.
these games too, man.
Stands tall in the pocket, stands tall. Oh, he's sacked by Sapp. He's sacked by Sapp. Holy Toledo, big wire.
This is not the Big East. This is the NFL, and it is tough.
The hat trick, John. Woo! The hat trick, thanks.
Mike Allstott's power running proved to be the perfect tonic for an offense that looked lethargic a week earlier.
So I don't know if what I want to talk about, I don't know if that was in this video or if it was in the 1998 video. But we're gonna, either way, we're gonna talk about it. I'll stop, man.
See how tough it is to get wins on the road. You got to go.
Shout out to Tony
There's
Dungy.
always a fight. We hung in there for 60 minutes. We got it done. Offensively, moving the ball when we had to. Defensively, keeping them out of the end zone, which is what it's all about.
Tampa Bay continued their strong play against the defending Super Bowl champion Broncos.
Defending Super Bowl champion Broncos. I'll stop, man. God.
G.D. Ahanatu had quarterback Brian Greasy running for his life most of the day.
Like I said, I played against my brother a lot, who was an Eagles fan. And one time I won a game off of a crazy throw that I scrambled and just threw the ball to Allstott. That man, it was like a 25, 30-yard catch, but it was a one-handed catch on Madden. One-handed catch by Allstott. Caught the ball, broke a tackle, and won the game. I will never forget that. Oh, my brother was so mad. And this was when the hit stick was new. The hit stick, actually, I think it was the year after the hit stick, because there was the hit stick and then there was the truck stick. And I don't, maybe it was the year of the hit stick. Maybe the truck stick came out first and then the next year was the hit stick. I'm not sure. But anyways, we used to like always have battles, because it would always be Brian Dawkins versus Allstott colliding against each other, and somebody was gonna lose. And oh my God, my truck stick versus his hit stick. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. 13 to
It looked
10.
like the
Bro.
season might be slipping away, as even the strong play of Marcus Jones and the defense couldn't deliver a win against Green Bay. Sometimes to take a step forward, you have to take a step back. After losing 2 straight, Tampa Bay took a giant leap forward by walking all over the Bears.
Here comes the foul. Intercepted Derek Brooks. That's up to it.
The Buccaneers continued to gather momentum by pounding the Saints.
First down, 2015, 10, 5, touchdown.
31 to 16. Whipping on the Saints.
Tight end Dave Moore and the offense finally hit their stride against the Chiefs. The defense had been carrying the team all season, and now it was time for the offense to contribute. Tampa Bay gained almost 400 yards of offense against one of the league's toughest defenses.
17-10.
First place, man. Let's go, dog. We don't lose here. We don't lose here. Let's go 3 and out, man. Let's go.
Shout out to Derek Brooks. Now, Derek Brooks is who Servassier Dennis is supposed to be more like, right? Not saying he's going to be a Hall of Famer or anything like that. We don't know what Servassier, what his career is going to be like. But as a linebacker, he's more Derek Brooks than he is Levante David. Devin White was more Levante David than he was Derek Brooks. Servassier is supposed to be more Derek Brooks like, right? More better in coverage, be able to intercept the ball, more IQ, more mindful, very tricky in coverage. But he can also, Derek Brooks was able to tackle behind the line of scrimmage and all that stuff. So it's not like he can't do what Levante can do, but he's supposed to be more like Derek Brooks. Hell, we would have beat y'all the first game of last season we played y'all if Chuba didn't fumble. And again, this is something that I try to teach Panther. This is something that I try to teach the NFC South, the rest of the NFC South, right? This is something that we had to learn. Buck fans have to learn, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of Buck fans, I'll just say me. Something that I had to learn as a Bucs fan, right? All those years of us being in the basement, all those years of, this year is going to be different because we would have won this game and we would have won this game and we want to win this game if so-and-so wouldn't have fumbled, if this didn't happen, if this call, the referee didn't do this, and that we would have won this game. So that means we are on this level because we actually would have won that game if it wasn't for this and wasn't for that. It took so many years for me to understand it. You lose because you lose. It is what it is. I don't care why you lost. I don't care how close the game was. None of that matters. You're either a winner or you're a loser. There's reasons for it. There is reasons for it. Everybody in the people don't understand. You know how you can understand this? Go gamble. Go do parlays. Not just gamble. Go do parlays. Go do a 4, 5 team, 6 team parlay. Shoot, do a 8 game parlay. You'll understand just how many games come down to the wire. How many games was I would have won that bet if it wasn't for this. This team would have won if it wasn't for that. This team could have beat this team if it wasn't for that. The NFL is full of we would have beat you if so-and-so didn't happen. When in reality, just because that happened didn't mean that this wasn't going to happen later. Just because that this didn't happen doesn't mean it wouldn't have happened later. Just is what it is. It just is what it is. You have to understand that none of this, all the excuses you can give in the world, none of it matters, bro. You are who you are.
When the Falcons took an early lead, linebacker Derek Brooks showed why he is one of the team leaders.
We out there, man. We flat. We flat. Nobody out there with emotion. Nobody. Oh, man, start knocking them back, man. They gonna try to run the ball. They ain't doing nothing but running the ball. Brooks
is, simply put, one of the best linebackers in the game of football.
Let's go.
By the way, link is in the comment section if you guys want to jump in here.
Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Tempo, man. Hit it, Mike.
All right, I'll start up the good.
Come on.
what era of football it is, first of all, it is great to watch Mike Allstott, and I would love to have another Mike Allstott somewhere. Oh, I can't wait to unleash Savassier.
Big. Come on, O. Execute, O.
The offense set up Martin Gramatica's go-ahead field goal, his fourth of the day, and second of 50 or more yards.
Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
Shout out to Grammatica.
Come on, buddy.
Gramatica has kicked 2 of 3
He was the man.
50-yard-plus field goals this year. Here's the kick. Airborne. Plenty of distance. Plenty of distance.
Everybody hates the
Let's go. It's not over. Let's go. Rush, man, rush. In. Go for the pick. Go for the pick.
No celebration is complete without a little icing on the cake.
I see you, Maple. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that, Maple. That's what I loved about the Bucs. Was the defense just nailed the coffin. And that was the difference.
Against Seattle, Rondé Barber helped.
That was the difference between our Super Bowl, the second Super Bowl defense, and this Super Bowl defense, the first Super Bowl defense. The first Super Bowl defense did what they did no matter what. Period. No matter what. The second Super Bowl defense was only able, not always. Sometimes they could shut the game down by themselves. But most of the time, they were able to do what they do when the offense put the other team's offense in a situation where they just have to be one-dimensional, right? Again, sometimes our defense was able to just, no matter what you do, no matter what my offense does, we're gonna shut it down. But the first Super Bowl defense did that no matter what. It don't matter what the offense is doing. Our defense is not going to let you do anything pretty much, right? You might go up and down the field, but you're not scoring. And we're taking the ball away as soon as you think you're getting down here. Like, just different styles, right? Says, I do appreciate Dave Canellis, though. I like how he's handled the mess he inherited. I'm not 1,000% sure that he did handle it, right? I'm not 1,000% sure that he did handle it. Also, to be fair, while yes, you guys did win the South the first year the division existed, but we won it the second year and went to the Super Bowl too. So what does that mean? Did it result to that? Did it result in having this? If not, then why does it matter? This is the point that the rest of the NFC South has to understand. Almost doesn't count for nothing. Like, it doesn't count for anything. Almost doesn't mean anything. There's no record books for the most almosts. I'm a Pats fan. You're welcome for Brady, and we appreciate Brady. And not only that, but you're welcome for us solidifying Brady. Right? You're welcome for us solidifying Brady. We didn't, we could have been a franchise that got Brady and made people question Brady. Like the Jets did with Aaron Rodgers, right? See how the Jets did Aaron Rodgers? Now, I'm not saying that, Brady needed us or anything like that, but we did our part. Brady came, he tried to further his legacy, and we did our part to help him further his legacy. He brought us a ring. We pretty much solidified him as the greatest of all time. With no doubt. With people that hate him have to even admit it. Like, it just is what it is. Like, now, unfortunately, that put a stain on Belichick. But hey, maybe Belichick gets another
Helped
chance
shut
somewhere.
down the Seahawks' air attack.
God, I love that defense. Defense is
Tampa
the
Bay
sexiest thing in
pressured
football.
John
It just
Kitna
is.
all day,
It just is.
largely due to the efforts of Pro Bowl defensive lineman Warren Sapp, who
Offense
recorded a
is
sack and
exciting,
forced a fumble.
is the most exciting, but defense feels the best and is the most sexiest thing in football. Especially a pick six. The pick six is the most sexiest thing, period, and the most sexiest play in football.
While the defense was treating Seattle like a punching bag, the offense seemed
When
to
it's
take
a,
a tremendous
and I've said
blow
this
when
before,
starting quarterback
when it's a pick six that the defender picks the ball coming this way, grabs the ball, and then continues coming this way. Not a pick six where it's like, oh, they're backpedaling, they caught it, and then they turn around, and then I mean that's great too. Any defensive play is great, and every pick six is awesome. But when a defender just breaks on a ball, catches the ball, and keeps running in stride, that oh my god, that's what made me fall in love so much with the
for the
Bucs.
season with a broken collarbone.
Dilfer's got to be hit, dropped to the 22. Got to get rid of the football, and Dilfer's hurt. Dilfer's gone down, and he's hurt.
The stage was set for rookie quarterback Sean King to make his NFL debut.
Did that for a reason.
The snap. Play action, Sean King dropping, throwing the pass. Caught! Touchdown! Tampa Bay! Sean King is
16-3. 16
A showdown against the
3.
Vikings brought out
Now,
the best in the Buccaneers defense.
16-3, right? You see, you guys are seeing these scores, right? Now let's put into context because I'm real about mines, and I always put into context, right? Different league, different era, different league, but still. Look at that.
Start the ball game. Go, Donnie, go!
Sean King made his first NFL start in the national spotlight of Monday Night Football. King stared into the bright lights and didn't blink, throwing second-half touchdowns to Jaquez Green and Dave Moore.
Now, I wonder if they're just going up to the first Super Bowl, or if they're gonna do, because they've been doing this history thing since the 70s, I think, since the Bucs, basically the whole history of the Bucs. They've done this. Like they've showed the NFL films of every Bucs year so far, and they've went up to like 2000 and something, 2002, I think, so far. So I'm wondering if they're going past 2002, if they're gonna do all the seasons till 2024. I don't know, but we'll see.
Bucs trail the Lions 10-7. Dropping into his own end zone. Quarterback under pressure. Under pressure. He Robbie sack for a safety. Great put it on the field, right? Just put it on the field.
No, they're palming some hands.
We got to net it up inside, man. We got to blow him off the ball.
Off from the tailback. McLeod the full. Here's the snap. Hand off the All-Star. Rips into the goal line. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. There you go, A-Train. Blow that whistle.
This game would decide.
Here we go, A-Train. Blow that whistle.
Possession of first place in the NFC Central.
Urban Moore kind of been it in.
Dropping for Rock. Gets the pass down. Picked off. Johnny looks at the 50. Looks to the 45 to the 40.
And we need to. There's something else I was thinking about. Bug fans, we need to get this energy in the stadium again, bro. We still, everybody was laughing at us like, oh, you didn't have, someone just told me this recently. You didn't have Buck fans in the stands till Tom Brady came and and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, we still don't have, even after Tom Brady, we still don't have fans in the stands like this. And it's true. Everybody showed up, right? We have fans, obviously, because they knew this was a Super Bowl. Not that this was a Super Bowl team, but they knew that we were one of the best defenses in the league. There was a vibe, right? Everyone was loving it, and we have fans like this. and then the fans died because we were trash for a lot of years. Then Tom Brady came, and that automatically brought everybody back because everybody wants to see Tom Brady. Everybody believes in Tom Brady, and everybody believes something was going to happen, and we did. But then, as soon as Tom Brady left, the fans left too again. And even though we're still a team that, has won divisions since Tom Brady, even won a playoff game since
Tampa
Tom
Bay
Brady,
won their 6th straight game,
we still have
putting
problems
themselves in
selling
prime
out.
position for
And
the
to be
stretch
honest,
run
it's
to the
because the
playoffs.
fans don't believe
A
in the
misstep
team.
like the Buccaneers'
The
trip in
fans
Oakland would cause many
were,
teams to doubt themselves.
With over 4,000 hotels
oh my
worldwide,
God, 0 to
Best Western is here
45.
to help you make the most of your getaway.
So, no, this isn't a Todd Bowles
Because the
thing.
only thing better than a great place
0-45. People,
Is it
oh, Todd Bowles, the Bucs,
Like
this
the
and
trip.
that.
Make the
Like,
most
this
of
is
it at
just what
Best
happens
Western.
in the NFL. Even with the
Book
great
direct and
defense,
save at
you have games
bestwestern.com.
where it just wasn't our night. Just wasn't our night. Yesterday, I talked about the Cowboys game. I was like, I do not remember losing to the Cowboys. We went over the schedule, and I was like, I don't remember losing to the Cowboys. Like, I don't remember winning either. I don't remember the game at all. And last night, I was like, let me watch the game because I don't remember this game at all. And right away, while I was watching the game, I started remembering, oh, that's why I don't remember the Cowboys game. That Cowboys game, I believe, was on prime time. And I hate playing the Cowboys. For some reason, when we play the Cowboys on prime time, it feels like we get no calls and they get all the calls and they get all the benefit of the doubt, all that stuff. But that wasn't the reason why we lost that game. We just could not get out of our own way. First of all, I think a little bit of it was that we got exposed by the Falcons already twice, and they were already taking advantage of our linebackers during that time. The other part was it was just one of those games where the offense just couldn't get out of the way. The defense couldn't get out of the defense was struggling. And it was just like, bro, we're way better than this team. They're not even doing it. It was Cooper Rush. He was just chucking it up to CD Lambs and plays that we usually would intercept or at least bat it down. It seemed like our corners, Zion and Jamel Dean, it seemed like our corners were just like, nah, they're not throwing it. Oh shoot, they threw it. And they were just not ready, and CeeDee Lamb would just catch it on them. It's like, what are you doing? And it looked like the whole defense, Levante was not able to guard anybody. Everybody, including Levante, was missing tackles. It was just a terrible game by us. And we're so talented that we still was able to come back. And we still, because I've said this in many games where I'm like, we're so talented, we're just going to lean on them. And eventually we're just going to break their will because we're way more talented than them. And we still did that against even though it was a bad game for us, we still did that against the Cowboys. And the last drive that we were going down the field to score and win the game, basically, because again, we're that talented, that much more talented than the Cowboys. Baker does a scramble, about to get sacked, hands it off, like chucks it off to Rachaad White. Rachaad makes a dude miss, takes off about 7 yards, gets gang tackled, and as he's falling down, he gets ripped and the ball comes out, game over. And I'm like, now I remember why I just completely forgot about this game. Now I know why I don't remember this game, because I took this game and I just threw it away and I said, it's just one of those games, bro. It's just one of those. It's the NFL. It happens. It's a bad game. Your team maybe you got popped in the mouth and your team just wasn't ready yet, mixed in with a bad game plan. It just happens. It happens. It doesn't mean that you don't have a good defense. It doesn't mean none of that. And too many times in today's society, when you go into these chat rooms and you go into these spaces and they act like, oh, if your defense is so good, what happened in this game? It happens. It's the NFL. It happens, bro. It's not about that one time that this happened. It's about what is happening consistently. What is consistently happening? That's what you say you are. Is what's happening consistently. Not what, oh, this happened, but then this happened over here. that doesn't mean anything. What's consistently happening? So it's interesting to see Buccaneers 0-45 when we had the defense that's beating teams 3-16, 6-10. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we put up a game like this 0-45. Like it happens. It happens.
Tampa Bay lost, learned, and moved on to destroy the Packers.
Trying to get a rhythm now. You're trying to find a way to get some first down.
Man, you're squeezing the so good to block. So I'm telling you, it's awesome right now. There's no run left. We're in good shape.
I see you guys. I'll get to your comments right now. Again, if anybody want to jump in here and talk, the link is on the top. See, I love plays like that. Oh my
the
gosh,
defensive
so
line
sexy.
helped hold Green Bay to a paltry 12 yards rushing.
12 yards rushing.
Sean King dropping to throw. Looking. Dumps it in. Caught by Devil the 5. Down to the 3-2-1. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Handoff to Allstott to the 5. 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
A-Train. All up the good. Oh my God. For a big man, All-Star be breaking people, bro. All-Star be breaking, not tackles, breaking ankles, bro. A-Train be. Good Lord. Oh. Oh my gosh, bro. All-Star was such a beast, bro. All-Star was such a beast, bro. Golly, how you big doing this, bro? How you run people over and then do this too? This All-Star was nasty, bro. All-Star was I miss. I will never. This is why All-Star is one of the greatest Buccaneers of all time, bro. It's just when you watch All-Star, it's just. I just said, right? I just said there's nothing sexier than defense, and the most sexiest play of all time is that pick six, the way I like it, right? But when you watch All-Star, bro, that's the sexiest thing in offense is someone that can run the ball like All-Star, who can run somebody over, bro, who can just run somebody over and then do that too. Oh my God, the power in the run game is so beautiful.
Got in the playoffs. We've won as many games as any Buccaneer team in history. But we got some unfinished business. We got to win one more,
so
win a division championship, and get a first-round bye.
I want to speak on this. I want to speak on this because shout out to D1 Chosen and Cousin Yeet. I believe Cousin Yeet, both of these guys are Dolphin fans, right? I believe Cousin Yeet is a Dolphin fan as well. And this has to do with the Dolphins as well, because there was actually a conversation that I got kicked out of once again because these Dolphin fans don't like to hear the truth. And it was this dude named Lou who was talking about how he doesn't understand how people hate on Chris Grier, but Chris Grier brought all this talent, blah, blah, blah. And Lou doesn't like hearing the truth. Tony don't like hearing the truth, all that stuff. And I tried to bring them the truth, and they kicked me out. They didn't want to hear it, right? So this pertains to them too. Hopefully they're still. Oh, okay, you're a Raiders fan. My fault, Cousin Yee. My fault. It looks like you're a Dolphin fan though, because it looks like you're wearing aqua green. I might be tripping. I don't know. Anyways, so I tried to tell him, and Dolphin fans, I try to tell them this all the time. Bringing in talent is, even though it might seem like the number one job of the GM, it is literally the easiest job of the GM. Bringing in talent is the easiest thing a GM can do. Anybody can do that. I can have a 10-year-old. I can literally have a 10-year-old bring in talent for a team in the NFL. You know all they have to do? All they have to do is go on Madden, look at the rosters on Madden and say, okay, who's on the 90s? And let me call those teams in real life and see if those guys are available. What do you want? First round, here you go. What do you want? First round, here you go. And just bring in as much talent as they can. Any GM can do that. Throw away draft picks and bring in the top players. Any GM can do that. That's the easiest part of a GM. So bringing in Tyreek is not an accomplishment. And the reason why you still blame your GM is because bringing in Tyreek and that talent is not the problem. Bringing in Tyreek and that talent when you know he has a history of being bad for the locker room or just being a problem, and bringing in that talent to be your leader, your undisputed leader on top of that, that's the problem. He is leading your locker room. If you had a guy like a Cameron Wake or like let's just say Jarvis Landry or anybody that was there that can be like, hey, chill, I got the locker room, or can at least balance the locker room out, that Tyreek doesn't have complete control of the locker room because he's by far the best player on the team, maybe it would have been a better situation. But to bring in a talent like that who has problems, right? Freaking AB problem, Antonio Brown type of problems, and to say you're our leader, lead us in the locker room, that wasn't a good decision. No wonder why your locker room and your culture is what it is. Look at the guys that you had leading you. And then you don't pay Wilkins. You don't want to pay Jonnu, right? You guys that you bred that could be in your locker room to show other people how to do things the right way. You don't want to pay them because they're not really worth the salary that they're asking for. Well, I'll tell you this. If they do their job on the football field, if they produce and do their job on the football field, even if they're not worth their production is not worth the money, if the money's a little bit too much, if they're a good locker room guy or a good what do you call it? A good locker room guy or a guy that shows how to do things the right way in the locker room, especially if they're a good leader, pay them the money, because you're not just paying contracts for production. Anybody can produce, but that's not how you make a culture. That's not how you build a culture. You build a culture by the locker room. You build a culture by paying guys that's going to be good for your locker room, that's going to breed, whether they're quiet like Levante David or whether they're loud like JPP or Ndamukong Suh or Wilkins. It don't matter. If they do things the right way, they're gonna and they get paid a lot, and they're one of your big producers. They're going to breed better players. They're going to breed that locker room into having a better culture, because people are going to go look up to them. They're going to either say, I want to produce like that person. How do they handle themselves? Or they're going to say, I want to get paid like that person. How did they achieve what they achieved so I could get paid like them? And they're going to fall into line and fall into place, and they're going to become that type of person so they can get either paid like that person or so they can produce in the NFL like that person. And that's how you breed in your locker room. But instead, you have a Tyreek Hill who turned your coming up Jalen Waddle and breeded him to be more like Tyreek Hill, even though he's not a troublemaker like Tyreek Hill. But he might not take practice serious. He might, quit in games, even though it doesn't mean he literally quit, like not come on the field like Tyreek did. But like he knows he's not getting the ball, so he's not running as hard and stuff like that, because Tyreek does it. Jalen Ramsey now has a problem with the coach. Like these are problems that happen because of your leaders. Now I say all that because, again, I'm pretty much farther than I've been in this
They look to win their
film.
11th game of the season, the most regular season wins in franchise history.
We'll talk a little bit more about it.
Let's play like champions. Let's go win a championship right now. Kick off. Kick ass. Ready.
The league's best defense finished the season strong. Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott combined for almost 150 rushing yards.
Last time they did 200? I've been around. I've been in here, Tony. Run it. I've been in here. I was on yesterday. Things will start ramping up for sure after training camp, because you know what, we got to talk when training camp starts. Again, if you guys want to jump in here, the link is in the comment section. Just click in and come on in. Talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, football-wise.
And the coaches next to us are all Buccaneers have won the NFC Central Championship. Great coaching and a great desire by this football team that began the season 3-4, and we have just ripped off 8 wins out of our last 9.
We came through a lot. We came through together, and that's the most important thing. Okay? 11 wins, most in the franchise history. Okay?
Nice.
Conventional wisdom says a rookie quarterback cannot win in the playoffs. But Sean King and the Buccaneers had spent all season turning doubters into believers.
Get this far in life. You ain't ever.
A rookie quarterback cannot win a game in the playoffs. This was the thing back in the days, right? People try to argue with me how the game hasn't really changed, and it's changed a lot. Rookies were no way starting. Now rookies start all the time, and it's not, if they make the playoffs, it's not a big deal, right? It's a big deal for them, but it's not like there's no way he'll make the playoffs. No one will see a rookie start and think he's a rookie, bro. There's no way he can make the playoffs. So it's definitely changed.
Brad Culpepper helped lead the league's best defense against one of the league's best offenses.
We're going to talk about it, Tony. We're going to talk about it. Is that Brad Johnson right there?
I drilled that. That didn't feel good, did it?
While Tampa
Culpepper,
Bay
do we still have his son on the team?
They almost suffered a crippling blow when Warren Sapp had to leave the game. Sapp shrugged off an injured foot and quickly returned.
Tad bit dramatic, huh? Tad bit dramatic with a cut. I thought it was blown out.
No, he stepped on it.
I know.
Look. That's a full cleat on my leg.
Would Howie Long come out?
As the second half began, it looked like the Buccaneers were letting the game slip through their fingers.
The goal line, Mitchell, far side, 10, 15, 20. He's going 30, 35. Pass Grammatica. He's in midfield. Can he outrun him? He's going to the 30. He's going to the 20. He's going to the 10. He's going for a touchdown. Washington Redskins.
I was showing earlier, Tony, this defense, and I was explaining, look, 0 to 13.
Okay, just keep coming.
Which is still not bad, but I showed the game earlier. I think it was against the Raiders. It might have been, which is why cousin Yeet was going crazy. Excuse me. But we were losing 0 to 40. I think it was 0 to 40 or 0 to 45, something like that. And I was explaining how even on this defense, bro, like people have to stop thinking, oh, this is Todd Bowles. This is what Todd Bowles does. He takes a crap when we think he's like we're there, and then he takes a crap. People have to understand, bro. It's some of this stuff is not because, oh, this is our identity or this is who the coaching staff is. Some of it is just football, bro. Some of it is look, we took a crap. It's football. It happens. This is what happens in football. Like this is what happens, bro. Like 0-40. This defense 0-40. Sometimes it just happens, bro. It's football. Sometimes we just have a bad performance, and sometimes it's a bad performance mixed with a bad game plan, and
Tampa
just
Bay
things
made
don't
a
go our
living
way.
in
It's
1999
football,
on
bro.
second half comebacks.
Again,
They
when I explained the Cowboys game. It happened in the Cowboys game, right?
When you need mobile coverage,
It happened
Cox
in
Mobile is right there with you.
the Panthers game.
We
Now
have
we
on the network
got
with
lucky,
unbeatable
stripped the
5G
ball,
reliability.
and won the game.
It's mobile service that works
But
where you
what
need
happened
it,
in the next
from
game when we
coast to
played the
coast.
Panthers?
Learn
We
more at
murdered them.
Cox.com/mobile.
Sometimes it's just wasn't a good day for us. It just happens,
knew
bro.
one
It's
big
football.
play could turn the
People
game
have to
around.
understand. Sometimes it's just football, bro. Again, it's not about this one time. What happened that one time? That one time was just that one time. It don't mean anything. When it starts becoming consistent, that's when you know, okay. And not consistent like, but it happened that year, and then it happened the other year, and then it happened that other year. That's not what we're talking about. That's every year teams are different. Teams go through things. Sometimes it's just football.
Good job, John Moore. They've got the football back. 5:06 left to go in the third quarter. Come on, let's put some points on it for him. John Lynch with a leaping catch now. That wasn't your routine INTC.
John, right play. We need to play.
With their backs against the wall, the Buccaneers turn to one of the best backs
And
in
you're
the
seeing
NFL.
a little bit of what I'm talking about.
The snap. Hand off Alstott, running right. Alstott shakes the tackle, shakes and makes the tackle. Keeps his balance, goes back to the left. Alstott 2-1. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
It's coming right back. That defense is like, we bringing it back. Nah, I'm gonna tell y'all something, bro, because like I said, I got some thoughts in my mind that needs to be said right now. Y'all gonna like it too.
He held it too long. I mean, Brad knows you can't hold it that long against this defense.
Who got that, Steve? I want to Steve. I know. Steve!
On a play that could have left the team hanging their heads, Warwick Dunn's heads-up play kept hope alive.
Man.
There's some crazy going on. Just enough crazy to let us win. Play action their ass.
Oh my gosh. God, I miss football like that. That's the best era of football, man. Easily the best era of football, bro. Running game, defense. That's a fact, Tony. I was saying the same thing.
Washington 13. Let's look at that up. Same thing we did all year. Let's rock. It's our game right now. It's our game.
It's a cliche, but that's what it's all about. Hey, don't be afraid of success.
That's it, man.
It's right here.
Washington drove downfield and set up for a game-winning field goal attempt.
14-13 Bucs.
Yeah, there's some stuff we got to talk about. We're going to talk about it. And the rest of the NFC South really needs to hear it. But, hey.
He's waiting, he's looking, he's running, he throws it. Complete.
McLaughlin.
We do not want to see this season end.
14-13.
Tampa Bay will enter the year 2000 as one of the best teams in the NFL. A defense led by Pro Bowlers Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, and John Lynch will again be among the league's elite. The offense will again rely on one of the finest backfields in all of football. Sean King will continue to improve, and he now has one of the premier targets in the game. Wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson. This year, Tampa Bay will host the Super Bowl in Raymond James Stadium. For the Buccaneers, there's no place like home.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So that's a fact. Kings of the South, everything. So there was a part, because again, I watched this. I also watched this is what, 2000s, I think. No, this is 1999. This is 1999, and I watched 1998, right? In 1998, I noticed something, and made me want to come on here because I wanted to talk to you guys about it. And I wanted to put it on wax. And what I noticed was, matter of fact, let me see. Let me see if I can just show it real quick and get that feeling back.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a solid foundation. Whether it's their brand new... Mike Allstott finished his year by recording a career-high 3 touchdowns.
1998.
Allstott, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Up the gut goes number 40.
The team brought out its best when it was needed the most, the mark of a champion.
Crazy.
First shutout on the road in the history of the franchise. And so now what we got to do is get on the plane, get back. We'll get the reports. We got to keep the faith and see what happens.
Tampa Bay needed the Giants to win, and Cardinals.
All right, now that's what had me like, okay, let's talk. Let's talk. I want to watch the next 1999 with the people. Now, the reason why was because when I saw that, and it wasn't just that clip, it was kind of a lot of other clips of Tony Dungy talking to his players and his teams. And there was something that I noticed, right? And you could maybe, because I do think there's a little bit of it that has to do with the era of football. Tony Dungy was pretty much in that, and not just Tony Dungy, but a lot, again, at that era, that time of era, coaches were talking to grown men. They weren't babying men. They weren't trying to be a father figure. They were talking to grown men. You got to remember, back in those days, being young meant you were probably not going to be on the field. You had to know what you were doing. You know, you got to be a grown man to be on the field. As time went on in the NFL, being younger and being faster and stronger, because these youngsters started developing faster, being younger, being stronger at a younger age. The NFL started slowly getting younger and younger and younger because it was more capable of starting these players because of the athleticism was just picking up so fast, right? That's how the NFL started moving. And the NFL started, the starting calibers of the NFL league started getting younger and younger, to where coaches needed to start maybe babying a little bit more and maybe being a father figure because these guys were so young. But Tony Dungy with these guys talked to them like men. and talk to them like, I'm not telling you what to do. You already know what to do. And I say all that because the feel of that locker room, the feel of these players was them controlling all of this. It was like the coach was just, that's the head coach, but this is our team. This is not the coach's team. This is our team. This is our season, right? There was, you talk about accountability, right? It's easy to be like, hey, do your job, do your job. That's the accountability we're talking about in today's NFL. Oh, hey, make sure you do your job, blah blah blah. In that era, it felt more like the accountability was more like, bro, you're not gonna mess up my season. You're not gonna mess up my career. Do your job. Like, it was a different type of accountability. It wasn't accountability because the coaches see me as a leader and I need to be good and hold you guys accountable as a leader. It was accountability because I'm a grown man who wants to do what I want to do, and what I want to do is win a championship, and you better not mess that up for me. It was a different type of accountability. It was a grown man's game back then, right? The same, the parallels of what we're watching right now, when you talk about 98, 99, 2000, 2001, the parallels that we're watching right now that was different from 2020, right? The Brady championship was that Brady championship was like, hey, we can all do this, right? We got this player coming in. Even though we had already raised Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, offensively, we had grown that offensively already. Defensively was a whole bunch of young pups that we just drafted, and a couple of key people who came in here and did their job, and you as veterans did their job and led the defense. But what we have going on right now, bro, is exactly what we're watching from the 1999, the 2000. We are literally growing these guys, just like we grew Warren Sapp and Lynch and Brooks all together. We're growing a Yaya, Kalijah Cansey, Servasier, Antoine, maybe Tyke Smith. We're growing these guys all together. Rondé Barber, Morrison, and Perry, like Zion McCollum. Like, we are growing these guys all together, period. And I tried to explain to the rest of the NFC South that the scary part and the reason why there's no chance for anybody else is because it's not about already the core player that we have and the floor that we know with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We know what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers floor is already. We know that the floor is more than likely going to win the division, which is why we're not worried about the division. We're worried about going past that. But the scary part is we are still waiting for a lot of these pieces to pop, a lot of these pieces to take that next step. Something that if they don't, we still win the division, which we don't care. We don't care about that. But if they do pop, what we're watching in 1999, 2000, this is what we might have on our hands. And the part of this popping, right? The other part of that, we have all these players ready to pop, whether you're talking about Chris Brasley, whether you're talking about Servasier, whether you're talking about Yaya Diaby, whether you think Kalijah already popped, but I think there's another level to Kalijah that he can hit. Tyke, Zion McCollum, I think there's another level that he can pop. Like, all these players that we're talking about right now, all these players are playing like sons. They're playing like Todd Bowles is their father, and they want to make their father proud, which is nothing wrong with that. But when we get to the level to where Yaya and Kalijah and Zion and Tyke and maybe Chris or whoever, when we get to the level where they're playing and they're talking to each other because for themselves, because this is what they want to do, not because this is the culture that was set by Levante, right? This winning culture, hey, we're not going to be bad. We're not going to lose. We're not going to be one of the worst teams. That's not what we do anymore. Levante has set that culture. Um, um, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, they've set that culture. Hey, you got to be a pro. This is how you do. We don't slack. We don't the money. We do our job. We get paid. We've set that culture already, and that's a good culture to have. That's a culture that's going to keep us in the playoffs. But once we get past that culture of we got to do our jobs, we're professionals, and we got to do this because we don't want to let our coaching staff down. We don't want to let our teammates down. Once we get past that culture and get to the culture of, hey, do your job because you're not messing up my season, and that culture comes out, we're not doing it because this is what we're supposed to do and we just want to do our job and we don't want to let our coach down. We're doing this because I already do my job and I'm chasing to be good. I'm chasing for a championship. I'm chasing to be one of those guys in the NFL, and you're not going to mess up my season. So get your stuff together. And once we get to that culture, that's the Super Bowl champion type of culture that we're seeing in 1999 and seeing in 2000 in these videos. That's the culture that's going to be dangerous. That's the culture that's going to be like, we're back. We're 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 back to this. We're back to this. That's when we're going to start seeing this all over again. I see J Dog in the building. Been a minute, man. How you been?
All right, I guess. I've been bumpy roads for a while, but getting my shit back together.
Nice, nice, nice to hear. You been around or what? I haven't seen you in a minute.
No, I've been around. It's just I've been doing gaming content because it's off season. It's just after off season. It's just I kind of slow down on Saints content. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Saints don't have much to talk
No,
about, but
no,
I'll say
we
this, J
don't.
Dog. I'll say this. Everybody's crapping on your quarterback. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be good, but
No.
as a Saint fan, I honestly think he's a good prospect. There,
Yeah.
if there was any light at the end of the tunnel, just just see what your price what that quarterback has.
You
Everybody's
know,
laughing at him
you
and
know
making
what
fun of
it
you guys, but
You
you
know
never
what it
know.
is? You know what it is? We got
Talk
spoiled
about it.
by Drew Brees for so long, and people expect like that high level of expectations. That's the problem. It's like we can't get past that era. It's like that era was just we were at our peak, and then all of a sudden we come back down to earth, and just everybody's starting to feel the growing pains again.
Yeah, that's
Of
actually
being
very
that team.
that's actually very true. You guys mentally never got out of feeling like you guys are it because you had Drew Brees and you
Yeah,
had Sean Payton. And then when
yeah.
Drew Brees left, it still felt like maybe because you still had Sean Payton. And then when Sean Payton left, and the,
That's when
the, the,
shit hit
prob-
the
the
fan.
problem is it wasn't just your fan base, it was your organization. Your organization should have pulled the plug a long time ago, and your organization should have been trying to rebuild. And now you've kind of been forced to rebuild because of
Yeah,
Carr, and
yeah.
you
Carr
guys are
set us back
realizing.
years. Set us back a few years because of his contract and that whole mess. Just I think we gave Derek Carr benefit of the doubt. We tried him. We gave him you know opportunity after opportunity. You
Well,
can't say you know
I will say this: your organization set you back years because of the way they were doing contracts and the way that they
yeah,
did contracts. So
yeah.
Derek
Well, that's
Carr,
because Mickey Loomis kept kicking the bucket like all the time, and
yeah.
it's the fact that he's still the GM. Like we haven't changed the GM since 2002, so we've been having
Well,
Mickey Loomis.
the
for a
thing
long
is, while
time.
he was kicking the bucket the whole time, Saint fans didn't see nothing wrong with it. Y'all didn't see nothing wrong with it until that second year of Derek Carr. Then you guys started
Yeah,
realizing we're not going nowhere, and we're still kicking
no,
the can. What are we gonna do? And now you guys are barely mad at
I
him. But
think the
he's been
top
kicking the can for years,
management,
and you guys were
I think
fine
the
with it.
top management really fucked us over, and that's why, we're such in a downtrodden trajectory. It's just like, we have nothing to blame but ourselves. We mismanaged the cap. We mismanaged players.
Yeah.
When we let go of CJ Gardner Johnson and Trey Hendrickson, that's when and Zach Bond. Look how well
Mhm.
they doing.
Yep.
You know?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, again, it's an organization that doesn't know how good they have it, which is what I'm afraid of with my with my franchise and my fan base.
Yeah,
The Patriots,
yeah,
the Patriots didn't know how good they have
yeah,
it had it. Um,
yeah.
there's several teams, and the way
Once
that happens is they don't understand why they're
I'm
good.
blessed. Listen, I'm blessed that we're not the Browns at least, because oh my god, I feel bad for Browns fans.
Well, what's the difference between the Browns and you guys right now? I mean, the
I don't
Browns are
know
looking
enough
up right
stuff,
now. I mean,
but
I'm
at
not
least we
I'm not
have.
saying the Browns are good, but the Browns don't feel. I'm pretty sure if we had a Browns fan in here, they would be like, "We're happier than the Saints fans right now."
Yeah, and the truth is, we already had our Super Bowl, and it's just, you know, after that, it just,
Well, first of all, if anybody else wants to come in here, everybody could come in here at the same time. If you guys all want to come in here and chat it up, don't matter. I'm
but
not. We're not taking phone calls. We're not doing one at a time. Everybody could come in here and give their opinion and talk. If you
but
want to come in here,
RTB,
just click on the link. Yeah.
I said this, my prediction that y'all would probably sweep us.
I mean, it's not. It's again. A lot of people don't. A lot of people are giving respect to the Bucks, and I'm still not feeling.
Really?
I'm still feeling disrespect. This is
Why?
how I see it, because I don't think people understand where the Bucks are at and what we're doing. And again, I see somebody else just came in here. If you guys want to join in, just come on in. We can all come in here and talk. I think I could hold up to like 10 people. I'm not exactly sure, but click the link. It's in the comment section. Just click the link and come on in.
I predict,
Um,
I
but
predicted my Saints to win at least 5 or 6 games at
but
most.
listen, people are predicting the Bucks to win the division, and I'm still feeling disrespected. And the reason why I say I'm still feeling disrespected is because they're still like, well, we're gonna fight, see if we could get first place. It's probably gonna be the Bucks until somebody knocks them off, but we're gonna and I feel disrespected off of that. And I'm like, no, you don't have a chance. Like I want to
They're,
hear what I want to hear from people is the Bucks. It's the Bucks. The Bucks won the division. Like we're all fighting for second and third. That's what I want to hear. And
I
this is
mean,
why. Hold on. This is why I said on the last stream, and I tried to explain that because someone had asked me, how good do you think the Bucks are? Like, give me a record, right? Now I can give you a record and predict that, oh, how I feel is we should be 15 and whatever, and that's how good we should be. But that's not records
no,
don't show how good you are or not, in my
yeah,
opinion. So I didn't want to I didn't want to throw out a record. In their eyes, it would explain to them how good I think my team is, but it wouldn't be realistic in my
right,
own eyes.
right,
What I wanted to say, which people would think it's even more unrealistic, what I wanted to say was my second team can still win this division. I think my second team could play in the season and have a shot at winning the division still. My
right,
second team has a better chance at winning this division than other people. The other people in the South have a chance of winning this division against my first team. And that's how I feel about my team. I feel like the Bucs we're not fighting for the division. We're fighting to go into the Super Bowl this year. We're fighting to be in the NFC Championship this year.
Yeah,
If we don't make the NFC Championship this year, it's a bust.
yeah.
It's a bust.
I
We
mean,
had
there's
a
a
bad season.
high expectation on Baker Mayfield. I mean, he had a stellar season, and y'all have the tools to make it. It's just if y'all could push that far, that's the problem.
Well, I talked about Baker. I think it's possible to do it with Baker. I don't know. Unfortunately, we have to find out because his contract is coming up soon. So
Yeah,
unfortunately, we have to make a move with Baker, and I'm hoping that we make the right move. And I'm not saying that signing Baker to another contract is the right move. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it ain't. I think this year is a big season. Baker has to show me. Just because and it isn't about the regular season. It isn't about the regular
yeah,
season. Again, anybody that wants to come in, there's a link in the top of the comment section. Click on the link and come in and give you guys his opinions if you want to. Um, give your opinions if you want to. Come in and talk. We can all chop it up all together. No worries. So don't be shy to come in here and give your opinions. But it's not just Baker. I don't care if Baker wins MVP next year. That doesn't
right,
mean that I want to give him a contract,
yeah,
because what I care about is how does he perform in the playoffs?
right.
Is he a part of the reason why we lost in the playoffs? Is he the reason why we can't get over the hump in the playoffs? If it is, I don't want to give him. We don't need to give him a contract because it's just going to get harder
Exactly.
once we give him that contract.
That's how
So
I felt with Derek Carr. It's like, why are we keeping Derek Carr when he's not guarantee us any playoff spots?
yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's. I think the biggest problem with going down the road you're going right now, being in the middle of the road that the Falcons are in right now, um,
Yeah,
starting the road that the Panthers are starting right now, because the Panthers could be on their road out, or their Panthers could be still going down the same road that you're about to go down, the same road that I think and I feel like the Falcons are still going down right now, which
yeah,
is a circle of mediocrity, right?
hmm,
The
yeah,
road that the Bucs just got out of a couple years ago, and I know that road so well. And because I do content, or I did content, because I was on YouTube all the time, because I was always documenting my opinions and my thoughts, I'm able to remember what I was thinking. I'm able to remember how I was feeling when certain situations were happening. And this is why I can tell people, no, you don't care about that. That doesn't matter. Care about this. This is what matters. Because I was able to realize and figure out what mattered and what didn't matter, what did change our trajectory, what didn't change where we were going. Um,
right,
what changed the culture, what didn't change the culture, what helped change the culture, what the culture is, how was the culture made, how was the culture sustained. I'm figuring all this out as we're
yeah,
going. One of the things that I was worried about once Tom Brady left, because I was scared. Once Tom Brady leaves, there goes the winning. We're back to being the Bucs. I was
yeah.
nervous about that. I didn't know. Now that Bruce Arians is not the head coach anymore, now that Todd Bowles is the head coach now,
Same here
are
with
we gonna
Drew
go
Brees and
back?
Sean Payton. Same here
Right.
with
So
Drew
so I was worried about that. But shout out to everybody who's watching. I see everybody watching once again. If you guys want to come in here and give your opinions, it don't have to be the same as mine. We could talk about completely different things as long as it's football. The link is in the top of the comment section. Come in here, man. Let's get some football talk.
Uh, I think
Um,
I I think
what
we
I
got
was
some.
worried about, hold on, what I was worried about was that we didn't understand how this culture was made, how this culture was kept. And as Todd Bowles was doing his thing, I was seeing it, and I seen, okay, I see how the culture was kept. I see how the culture was staying together and how we built the culture. And I noticed all these different things. And I think that's the main problem with the Saints right now. That's the main problem with the Falcons. That's the main problem with the Panthers. And they're looking at it like I'm looking at them like you guys suck. You're not us. And I'm not saying that. I mean, a little bit of it is
Yeah,
because of that, but I'm not saying it because I just think you guys suck or whatever. It's because I don't see you building what we build. I don't see it coming together the way it came together. Now, that's
Right.
not to say that you guys, the Panthers, the Falcons, could have a magical draft, because a magical draft can change anything. A magical
Yeah.
draft can change a franchise. You draft the
If
right amount of players, and all of a sudden, you have a culture. All of a sudden,
yeah.
there's a standard. Obviously, you have to have the right coaching staff or it won't bloom, but
Yeah.
it'll still, you can have the right players and have a bad coaching, and it doesn't
Yeah.
grow into anything. But then you replace that coach, and once you get the right coach, everything starts growing right? And that
Right.
could happen. And that's where I'm worried about the Falcons, because they had a pretty good draft. That's where I'm worried about the Falcons, where I'm like, if a couple of those big time picks hit and they're the right players and the right coaching staff and everything develops right, they could start growing a culture
Yeah.
there. Now, is it going to happen? We don't know. But
No,
I don't
it's up
see
in the
that
air.
anywhere else. So,
It's up in the air. It's all up. The NFC South is all up in the air. We don't know what's gonna happen this season. Everything is just not as predetermined as other seasons. I'm going in this with a complete blank slate. But I'm gonna
yeah.
temper my expectations.
Look,
I'm not gonna
the,
try and hype my team up like crazy. You know,
right. The way, if I'm a
because
Saint
here's the
fan,
thing.
go ahead.
I'm looking at this. It's like, well, we could have like a top 5 pick, top 3 pick next year. You know,
Yeah.
but it all depends on who we get with that pick. Whether it be a franchise quarterback or like, it's just
Well,
who
here's the
knows.
thing. Don't
Who knows? Spencer Rattler probably should like ban out.
don't worry about where your pick is at. Don't be that fan. Oh, let's tank. And I've seen too many fan base wanting to tank. Their team does bad, and they're still bad. Don't worry about that. If you're a Saint fan,
I
this is
don't.
what you
I
should be
don't like
looking at.
tanking.
Look
I don't
at
like
starting
tanking,
over, right?
honestly.
Yeah, look at starting over, right? Start over. See what you got in Tyler Sock, or however you say his name. Look
Chip.
at starting over with him, seeing what you got
Hmm.
there, and look at your GM building the team. If it seems like you're trying to build a team in the offseason where you're trying to be a playoff team right then and there, you're doing it wrong. You are doing it
Yeah.
wrong. If it looks
Yeah.
like your GM is not doing much, he might add a piece or two in free agency, but he's trying to build something through the draft, then he's doing it right. You're trying to start over, and you're trying to grow a core, because that's what you want to do. You
Right.
need to grow a core
You
of
can't.
youngsters
You
together
can't
to
just.
come up together.
You can't just throw money in free agency all willy nilly like that. That's what cost us like so many,
You can.
players.
You
Well,
can,
you
but you
can
need to have
technically.
a core first. You need to have, because free
Yeah.
agency can be a dynamite and ignite
Yeah.
your franchise. But you need to have something to ignite first. If you try to
Right.
ignite your franchise with free agency and have nothing there, then everything that you just got from free agency, now that's your core. And you're not going to be able to keep that core together, because you can't keep
Right.
free agency together. You're starting off with contracts. If you start off your team with contracts, that team's never going to stay together. If you
Yeah.
start off your team with draft picks, and then you throw in the contracts, you can start, okay, once you lose this free agency, you could bring in another draft pick to help that out. Then you lose another free agency, you could bring in
Mhm.
another draft pick the next year,
Yeah.
and you can slowly keep that team
Yeah.
together. No matter how
Exactly.
you shuffle it around, you can slowly keep that team together.
Right.
And then when you have a core where you feel like we have a good core, We think
Mhm.
that they've grown. We think that they're ready for that push. If you're smart enough, which is what I'm hoping our team does, and where I believe our team is at right now, where we have these second and third year and fourth year players where we're like, they're ready to bust, they're ready to pop. That fifth
Yeah,
year, you can say, let's bring in the last pieces we need and swipe your credit card, throw all your money into free agency, bring in everybody that you need to bring in, and make a Super Bowl run. Then you can do that. But if you try to do that without a core that you drafted, you're just wasting years. And,
yeah.
and it's still possible, but it's a very long
The
shot
fact
in the
that we
dark.
went all in on Derek Carr, like 150 mil, like that's expecting a lot from a guy who's just very mid. That's like
Well,
you throw that at least status quarterbacks. Not like you know.
well, I believe that was again your franchise trying to show your fan base that no, we're not in the dirt, we're not starting over, we're still a good team. When you weren't, no, we can still compete. When you might have been able to compete, but you're only trying to compete for the division. You're not competing for a Super Bowl. You're just
No,
trying to compete for the division. And
exactly.
that's as far as you were gonna ever go was maybe win the division, but you were never gonna be a problem
No,
in the
no,
playoffs. And even if you won the
no.
division, it would have been you winning a
Yeah, it wouldn't
division
matter.
because we blew it
We'd
or
be
something
one
like
and
that.
done. We'd be one and done by the time we
Right.
got to the playoffs.
So once again, everybody in the don't let J Dog be the only one in here, man. Show some love. Uh
Yeah,
um hit the like button first of all, but show some love, man. Jump in here, talk some football. Give me your guys' opinions. I see there's a couple of y'all in here watching. Click on the link, come say something, give an opinion, what you guys think we're talking about, or if you want to talk about something else, another team, no, it don't matter to me. J
but
Dog's in here. He's a Saint fan. Come in here and give your opinion. Don't let J Dog be the only one.
nah,
What
come
else?
on, guys. Yeah, I mean, let's start a conversation now. Let's talk football. Let's get engaging.
Yeah, there's
But it's like I said, man. It's like I don't expect us to lit like the world on fire. Like
yeah. So NFC South, man, is there's a part of me that wishes it was a little bit more competitive because
yeah,
I feel like a lot of the NFC South people like to stay awake. I think everybody knows the Bucks are the big dogs of the division, and I feel
yeah,
like
they are.
because of that, they're staying away from they're staying away from the Bucks platforms because they don't want to get into a shouting match with the Bucks. They don't want we got two rings. Nobody can say nothing about that. We've won the division, I think 4 times in a row or 5 times in a row. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
If we win it one more time, no one else has ever done that as well. Like there's just you know
yeah,
there's just nothing that anybody can say to us, so nobody wants to jump in here and talk to a Bucks fan. And I'm here to say that I've been on Panther fans YouTubes. I've been on, well, not Saint fans because it's hard to find Saint fans, but I've been on Falcon fans YouTubes, and I go in there to talk football. I'm going in there to maybe explain some things that I understand that I don't think they're understanding yet. And they always take it as me trying to act like we're way better than you and above you. And I do think we're way better than them, but I'm not talking to them because I feel like we're
right,
above you and this and that. Like I'm not trying to pump my chest out is what I'm trying to say, because I do believe that we are better than them, we are above them or whatever, because we're a better franchise and
yeah,
all that stuff. But I'm not trying to throw that in their face is what I'm saying. I'm trying to
yeah,
actually get them to see where they're at. I'm trying to actually get them to understand that, oh, okay, this is what we need to do, and this is what my expectations should be. There are Panther fans out there who think that they have a shot at actually winning the division, which is crazy to me. Um,
yeah. That's nuts.
Falcon fans think that they can win the division, and I understand why they think they could win the division. And I think they have a real thing of thinking that um, Michael Penix is going to give them a chance to win the division. But I also do believe that deep down inside, they do realize that this is a long shot with Michael Penix. I do
Yeah,
think Falcon fans do realize that they really don't know what they have in Michael Penix. Now, they act like they do. They act like they're ready to go, but I think that's more high
yeah,
hopes than anything. I think if you
yeah,
really sit down and talk to them, they really like, yeah, you're probably gonna win the division. They know the Bucks are probably gonna win the division.
yeah,
So I don't have that much problems with Falcon fans, or I should say I'm not that annoyed by Falcon fans. Um, and Saint fans again. Saint fans is it's almost depressing to talk to Saint fans right now
yeah,
because
yeah,
they just like they don't want to talk to nobody. They just want to be left alone. They know that what they're
yeah,
going through is probably not going to be good, and so it's kind of
yeah,
depressing to talk to Saint fans. But
yeah.
again, I just
Like
want to
I
talk
said,
football.
this is dark times. This is dark times for us Saints fans, honestly. This is like the ain't like we were when we were the Aints, you know, nobody would like I remember back in the day, people would talk more about LSU than the Saints. I mean, if people would talk about the Saints, it would have been in a joking manner. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day before Drew Brees and Sean Payton was a thing.
Yeah, yeah. It's
But they brought in the culture, and you know, after that, it's just we hit rock bottom again. You know?
yeah. Like I said, every franchise goes through this. I do. The more and more I've learned about how to build a good football team and like what goes into it and how to build a culture and what goes into it, the more I learn about that, the more I realize that being an owner has a big part of it too. Your owner has to know the right GM, has to be able to open up the
It's not
pockets when
easy.
it's time to do it. And I will say this: a lot of owners, majority of owners don't have a problem opening up the pockets for your team. So that's
Right.
not the big problem, even though there are teams
No.
out there like the Bengals that have a problem with that. The biggest
Mm,
problem with a lot of owners and the biggest problems with franchises is the GM
yeah.
hiring the right GM.
Yeah.
Um, Jason Light is
But,
the right GM. I'm faithful in Jason Light. I think Jason Light knows exactly what he's doing. I think Jason Light knows exactly why we have the culture, why we're winning right now, and why we're sustaining and always and still winning year after year. And that gives me a lot of hope, a lot of happiness. But I'm still worried about the fan base, the Tampa Bay fan base, because we don't know. We don't understand.
yeah.
There's still a lot of people that year after year call for Todd Bowles' head, not understanding that Todd Bowles is a really good head coach. A lot of people in the NFC South don't believe Todd Bowles is there. Like, oh, you're just winning. You got Todd Bowles. There's just no good coaches in the NFC South right now. They don't understand how good of a head coach Todd Bowles is. They don't. It's the other reason why they keep being surprised that we win in the division. First, it was Tom Brady. Then, after Tom Brady left, now it was Dave Canellis because he worked wonders with Baker. Then, after after Dave Canellis left, then it was it's Liam Cohen. And people don't understand. No, bro, it's not one person. It's not Tom Brady. It's not Dave Canellis. It wasn't Liam Cohen. It's Todd Bowles, this culture that we have,
Yeah.
and the coaching staff. That's
Mm-hmm.
what keeps us winning. That's what keeps us on the top. And
Right.
when Tampa Bay fans understand that, they'll stop calling for Todd Bowles' head. Now, there will be a time, like with Tony Dungy, where bro, we might need to move on from Todd Bowles. We're stuck at a
Yeah,
certain position, and we might need to move on from Todd Bowles.
right.
But that's we haven't came across that bridge yet. NFZ, come on in. Where you at? What you doing?
No, no, you put me to sleep. No, bro. I'm
Where you
just.
at, NFZ? Wake us up. Wake us up.
Yeah,
Click the
wait a
link. The
minute.
link's on the top. We could
Yeah,
talk about the Cowboys. Click the
I'm
link.
just.
First of all,
Uh,
where is all these? Where is? Oh, okay, I see you. Where all of a sudden, where's there all this TTC people coming from? Where like everybody, all of a sudden, a whole bunch of TTC people are like coming in here and talking. That's crazy. I don't know. Anyways, um, yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. So that's one thing I'm scared about the Buck fans. They're not understanding where or
oh,
why
exactly.
we're consistently winning and consistently doing good, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, once again, anybody else who's watching, just come in, talk some football. If not, I'm gonna shut it down because I see in my subscriptions, I see some people in another YouTube channel who's not from the NFC. It's an AFC YouTube channel that I like going in because they talk a lot of football, and there's a lot of people in there talking football, and I like
Yeah.
going in there and talking
Mm-hmm.
football. But I would like other people to come in here. The network shared you out. What network are you talking about? We got
He's talking
triple
about the
OG in the building, man. Shout out to the OG for coming in and showing some love. What's going on? You at work?
I'm on my way to work, but that you guys were talking about the Todd Bowles thing, and I was thinking the same thing in my head. I'm like, that's the one topic I wanted to kind of push forward. Am I echoing?
No,
Let me
not
know.
at all.
No, no, you're
Okay,
not ignorant.
all right. Inka, you were kind of talking about it already, but like, what would it take for Todd Bowles like to be fired, or for us to have a change, like a Tony Dungy, just a change of head coach?
Um,
Because I mean, so we've had these conversations before, right? And we
right,
keep winning division, and we keep saying, all right, so this could be our year, or even next year. Like,
right,
how long do we have? Because again, I'm a Todd Bowles supporter. I like Todd Bowles, right?
right. But
Now,
when is it that time?
yeah, when would it be that time? Like, because I know teams, they keep their head coach for a while. Like, even Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, and even other coaches, right? They stay for a
Yeah,
long time, even if they don't win a ring.
yeah.
Would that happen to us? Or like, what would it take for us to?
So this is how I look at it, right? And I think first of all, thank you for coming in and showing some love. Second of all, thank you for the question because it's a great question, right? Because waiting too long can kill your culture. It could kill your franchise. Waiting too long to make that change. So it's a great question, a valid question. I personally believe this. I would say when I give your core 3 years. And how does that 3 years look, right? So when your core is developed, what I mean by that is I feel like Antoine Winfield is where he's going to be. Like, I don't think there's much more. And again, I think Antoine Winfield is one of the best safeties in the league. I don't think there's much more room where Antoine, he's went so, like, I think Antoine is what he is already, right? I think Zion has one more level. I think there's one more level for Zion. I think we already seen the best of Jamel Dean. Jamel Dean is what he is already. Um, um, I think Jalen McMillan, I think there's another step for him. When the core of our team is who they are, when we feel like Yaya, okay, we know Yaya is going to be this. This is what Yaya is. Kalijah Cansey, he's peaked. This is what when the core of our team is what they are. Now, I'm not saying that we have nobody that might pop because every year you draft, right? Every year you'll have a second-year player that might be popping. But when that majority of the team, and the majority of the team right now is Servasier, Chris Brasley, Kalijah, Yaya, Zion, Morrison, these are our core. We have our core. This is our core right now, right? Ibuka, Jalen. I think Tez might be with us for a while. I could be wrong about that. We have our O line. When we're there, when we're the core, so I would say from here to the next 3 years from here is what I'm expecting to be the years where we're looking at Todd Bowles. This is also why I talked about Baker Mayfield, because Baker could mess it up. This is why I'm very like I hope Baker Mayfield shows us that he's the guy, that he can do it. He's not the problem. Because if Baker is not the reason why we're losing in the playoffs and our defense keeps missing assignments or missing things up, or we're having breakdowns, or it just seems like the NFL has started to figure out the defense, then 2 years of that, 3 years of that, it's time to move on. We need something fresh. And it's going to be hard to be able to say that if we keep leaving. Shout out to everybody joining. I appreciate it. It is going to be hard to say that if we keep leaving the playoffs saying we had that game. Baker fumbled the ball. We had that game. People were mad about the defense last year. Oh, the defense. Someone said the defense was 4 out of 5 on fourth downs. The defense played great against the Washington Commanders. We kept bringing them into fourth downs. They kept barely converting, and a lot of it was because of Jaden Daniels' legs. Jaden Daniels' legs saved the Commanders several times, not just against us and our defense. Against the NFL, that whole season, Jaden Daniels' legs saved them. So it wasn't like, our defense was terrible. And not only that, we did it with a defense that just was shredded with freaking injuries all year. We had backups of backups in the secondary, backups to backups to backups in the secondary, backups to backups in the inside linebackers. We had a whole bunch of injuries in the defense, and defense still was not the reason why we lost that playoff game. We lost that playoff game because, whether you want to be mad at Liam Cohen, because a lot of people were like, why run a stupid reverse like that? Which I can hear that. I'm not too mad at people being mad at that. But let's be honest. You should be able to call anything and execute. It's about the execution. And Baker fumbled the ball. And then we had the mistake by the rookie at the center when we were right there to score a touchdown. So they both had a hand on it, but I'm putting it all on Baker because that's our quarterback. So it's hard to be mad at the defense about that. And we're young. We're a young defense, man. We're inexperienced. We're young. So I get it. I think honestly, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, we should easily be able to see, okay, does Todd Bowles need a different quarterback, or do we just need a head coaching change? Right now, I don't think it's any of that. I don't think we can blame anybody because this team is growing and this team is very young. Even though we're not young offensively, but offensively is not the problem. Offensively, we're like top 5 in scoring. We're like 29. We average 29 points. I just looked at it. We're like top 3 or top 5, something like that. So even though our veteran, mostly Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, is our offense, we're going to have to turn that page and be young again soon. We already turned the page defensively, and that's why I really can't take nothing away from Todd Bowles, because not only have we already turned the page defensively, but defensively hasn't been the problem. And that's with injuries and with young players. The only page we really have to turn defensively is Levante David. So we're waiting for that page to be turned, but everything else is like, he's building something. We're building something. Our trajectory is going up. So I can't really put Todd Bowles on the hot seat yet until the core of our players are ready to go. And when we see that the core of our players ready to go is not enough, then I think we start making a change. And I think that's the next 3 to 4 years from now. But I don't know if Todd Bowles will get that chance because, of other circumstances. And people are just waiting so they're just ready to jump on Todd Bowles. And I hear a lot of, calling timeouts, game managing, all these problems that Todd Bowles has, which he's not going to sit here and act like he's not the best at it. But I don't remember a game where we lost because we didn't have a timeout. I don't remember a game where he mismanaged something, so that's why we lost. So I don't understand what these problems are so bad that we got to look for another coach. And not only that, but if you understand the obstacles that Todd Bowles had to go through and still won the division, you'd be like, yeah, he is. You have to be a pretty good coach to do that. You talk about his first year having an OC that he didn't pick and Tom Brady with an arm that couldn't throw the ball, still won the division. Then the next year after that, a year where we couldn't do nothing with off-season, couldn't add any pieces with the off-season because we were paying the credit card that we used to keep Tom Brady in the Super Bowl team. So we were paying that off. We couldn't really do nothing in the off-season. Won the division still. And a new quarterback and a first-time play caller in Dave Canellis, who struggled during the season. We still won the division. Then a new offensive coordinator once again. And then we get freaking hindered by injuries, right, with the defense. And lose Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Still win the division. It's like he goes through a lot of problems, and we still have a team that fights at the end. Not only fights at the end, but we play our best football at the end of the season. He's showing us everything we want to see from a head coach. And not only that, but the draft picks just seem to get better, and the developing just seems to continue. And him as a head coach, as far as, okay, let me get somebody to call timeouts and let me change this up and let me do. He's developing himself even as a better head coach every year as well. How can you not just be like, why is he right now? I don't see any reason for him to be on the hot seat at all. Because he's developing, he's getting better. The players, these young players that we're bringing in to build this franchise right now, because we've turned the page from the Super Bowl year, they're developing, they're getting better. We're elevating. And even though we just lost in the first round of the playoffs, I said it, I'm sure everybody in the building feels it. Our expectations are even higher than our expectations was from last year. So obviously we all feel like we're getting better. Even though we got exited in the first round, we all know that we're getting better. We all know that this team's getting better. Go ahead.
Yeah, one quick comment regarding that playoff game. Also, I mean the Commanders, their head coach, they played very like they went for a fourth down like 4 different times. Five, and that's very like ballsy. Like you gotta have a lot of courage, and they just ended up winning that. Like
yes, they had to risk a lot.
They risked so much that they like. I mean, we stopped them twice, right? Like we stopped them twice. So we did stop them. But I don't know.
They had to gamble an unorthodox or however it wasn't regular. It wasn't regular. They had to gamble more than most any teams would gamble in a game. And you would say to yourself, well, make them pay. The people don't gamble because they can lose, and then if they lose, you make them pay. We'll make them pay. We did. They gambled. We stopped them on fourth down, got the ball back, right? Stopped them from scoring a touchdown, got the ball back for our offense. We was already up 4 points. We was already up by 4. got the ball back for our offense. This was in the fourth quarter, the middle of the fourth quarter. If we take that ball offensively and go and get a field goal, that puts us up by 7. They come back. Let's just say they come back and score a touchdown. They only tie the game. Then there's only enough time for us to go back up there and kick a field goal and win the game. The game's over. If we go down after stopping them on that fourth down and score a touchdown, we win the game, because there's no way they're going to go down the field fast enough to have 2 possessions to win the game. They would be playing right into Todd Bowles' hands. They wouldn't be able to do it. So when we stopped them on that fourth down, but that second to last possession, fourth down, when we stopped them there and got the ball back to our offense, who was already up by 4 points, if they go down the field and score a touchdown, we win that game. There's no way they win that game. But when we stopped them, our offense gave the ball right back to them in the first play. I think it was the first or the second play. Gave it right back to them in our red zone. In our own red zone. And 3 plays later, they score a touchdown.
So it went to fourth down on that.
Yes.
There's again another fourth down. They tried again on another fourth down.
We consistently made them have to gamble to stay in the game. Consistently. And when we finally made them pay for gambling, when we finally said, "Oh, you gambled and you lost this time, now that's your butt. You that was the game." But our offense gave them a second life and gave it right back to them when they fumbled the ball right there, and that was it. Matter of fact, I'll put it up real quick so people can see exactly what I'm talking about. Bucs, Commanders. I'll put it up on the screen. So we can see.
Several categories, including points and yards. End zone tackled by McCollum.
Here we go right here. 13-17. 14 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Another team out of the end zone. Daniels,
third and goal. Almost picked it off by Deion Jones, who I think is a huge pickup for us in depth. Again, 4th and goal. Again. Incomplete. Made them pay for it. 12 minutes left. First, look at this. Oh, it was deeper than I thought. It's literally at our 13-yard line? We fumble the ball and give it right back to them.
Yeah, it's right back in the end zone. We again take them to fourth down again, and we just couldn't stop them.
We gave it right back to them. This should be game because it's 12 minutes left. You know, dink and dunk, run the ball. By the time they get the ball back, it'll be maybe 9-8 minutes left. By the time that they have to come all the way down, again, we're consistently putting them on fourth down. So you know they're taking a lot of clock because we're consistently letting them slowly drive down the field, putting them in fourth down. By the time that they score, there'll probably be another 5 minutes, 4 minutes, maybe. By the time we go down again to kick the game-winning field goal, there's no way they have any time to do anything. You know what I'm saying? That should have been ball game. But we give the ball right back to them. It's 13 points. People say, "Oh, our defense." Bro, they score right here. 4th and 2, again, like you said, 4th down again. And they scored on who? Josh Hayes. This is what I'm talking about. This is who Josh Hayes, Mike Edwards out there. This is who we had to deal with. Deion Jones out there, who I think this might have been his first game with us. This is the tape that Talbos had to put a playoff defense out there with. Josh Hayes was out there covering.
They're still in their zone defenses here, but it's sort of man coverage with like a box and one almost on the outside with McLaurin. Gets a little contact there.
This is like, come on, man. So let's see. How many minutes is left?
A lot of sitting outside with McLaurin. Gets a little contact there.
I want to see it.
All right, I'm gonna head out,
So-
but I'm gonna keep
all right.
watching. Or try.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
9 minutes and 50 seconds, right? 9 minutes and 50 seconds left. They're up by 20.
Treat him like a fullback. And
Which, by the way, week 1, they scored 20 points. Week 1. They scored 23 points in the playoffs, and we want to act like our defense was trash, even though week 1, they scored 20 points. And that they want to act like, oh, they were a different Commanders team than when week 1, the first time we played them. Were they really? They only scored 3 more points than what they did in week 1. The only difference, it seems to me, is the defense that we have out there going against them. So let's see. So remember, 9 minutes. 9 minutes and 50 seconds.
Fourth down.
9 minutes.
Zone infraction. Field goal attempt to tie the game from McLaughlin, 32 yards. And he knocks it.
So let's just say 450. So that drive that ended in a field goal took what, 5 minutes. And then we know they took 5 minutes to get where they got, right? They took another 5 minutes to get where they got. So what I'm saying is correct. If we actually drive down the field, we will take about 5 minutes to drive down the field, maybe longer, depending on how the drive went, to go score a touchdown. There's not enough possessions. There's not enough possessions for them to win this game. There's just not. Again, 3rd and 1, and we stopped. We could have stopped them right there. And oh God, we had them. We had them. We had them. But again, his legs saved him. And doinks it in. We get a sack. They kick the field goal from back there. There's no chance he makes that. No chance he makes that. It's just obvious, bro. It's obvious. It's obvious. All that duct tape that Talbos had to deal with, and still ended up with a defensive game like this. There's no way I'm looking at Talbos. I'm looking at my quarterback. Again, that one snap also messed us up because that could have been a touchdown instead of a field goal that we had to kick. That could have been this play right here. Not that one. There was this play,
time, Lattimore shuts him down along with Michael Walker. 3rd and inches.
There was that play right there. There was a mess up by the rookie that allowed them to blow this up. We could have wasted more time, and it probably if he doesn't mess that up, we get a first down. If he doesn't mess that up, if he doesn't mess that snap count up, if he doesn't mess that snap count up, he don't blow that play up. Come on. 3rd and inches. He was able to blow the play up because we didn't go when they went, because he went too early.
It's 4th down.
So whether you want to talk about the rookie or you want to talk about Baker, Baker messes up because we shouldn't have been in this position. We should have iced it. We should have never fumbled the ball. Rookie messed it up because even though we messed it up, we still had a chance to go ahead and not allow them to have a touchdown to tie the game. Or I'm sorry, a touchdown to win the game, right? They would have had to make a touchdown, and we blew that too. So the last thing I'm looking at is the coach and the defense on this game. That's my point. Everything else, we're ready. We should have won that game. And again, not to be honest, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It only matters because it sucks that we were out in the first round. But to be honest, it really doesn't matter because the second round we playing the Eagles or maybe somebody else. We probably not gonna make it out the second round as well. Again, we're just too exposed with our defense at the time, and hurt and all that stuff. So it really doesn't matter because we're probably not Super Bowl bound that year anyways. We're just too banged up. But you take that year and you say it wasn't the defense, and that was with a whole bunch of young players. Yaya's first time. I think that was Yaya's first time in the playoffs. No, because we were in the playoffs last year, so no, it wasn't their first time in the play. But they're still young players, nonetheless, right? So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of grace that should be given to that defense performance, and they scored 3 points just to win the game. 3 more points than they did in week 1. So I'm not really, and there's plenty of Buck fans that are out here that are blaming the defense. Like, bro, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Would you have liked to make a lot more 4th down stops? Yeah. But the only reason why we had to make so many 4th down stops was because we made so many 3rd down stops. We did our job. Anyways, we'll leave it at that, man. I want to man, I can't believe they still haven't called me for my dang car. Leave it at that. I appreciate everybody coming in, showing love. Once again, if you want to come in, you can hit the link on the top of the comment section. It's pinned there. Come in, talk some football. Maybe the next time. I definitely got to go to work tomorrow, man. I have to have my car today. They can't mess me up like that. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time I see you guys. Your man RTP. Here with the Pewter and Red podcast. And I hope that y'all have a safe one. And see you guys next time I see you. Deuce.